Hi, I'm Angie. I want to welcome you to National Indoor RV Centers, where we specialize in the sales, storage, service, and detailing of only high-end new and used coaches. So basically, we do it all. Hi, I'm Angie with National Indoor RV Centers, and today I can't tell you how excited I am to do the walkthrough on the 2021 Newmar King Aire. Now, we have been waiting for this coach to arrive for months. So excited to show this because it's a lifestyle change. Since this is Newmar's crown jewel, I figured that I should wear my Queen's cape. And you can just call me Elsa today. But basically, you know, the blue matched the blue on this gorgeous coach. And of course, it's NIRVC blue, so it was perfect. This 2021 King Aire has the contemporary graphics with the Dorian paint color. So you have 4 contemporary options that you can choose from, and then 4 classic options for exterior colors. So you know with Newmar, you can customize your color if you call National Indoor RV Centers. If you want to make that blue stripe red, we can do that. There's just a small fee whether you change one color or all 4 colors. Now Newmar only uses the best paint. They use BASF paints. And we've got on this coach, you've got 2 base coats, then you have your skin color, which is the white on this coach. So you're gonna have 3 coats of your skin. Then you're gonna have at least 2 coats of every other color. And then you've got 5 coats of clear and 5 stages of cut and buff. So that's what gives this coach this beautiful paint job. And as I run my fingers down the side of this coach, you don't feel the transition from one color to another. All right, so one of the things that you're going to totally enjoy about your Class A diesel is this huge windshield. So when you get behind the steering wheel and you start driving, your vacation starts right then because you have this beautiful window that you're seeing our country with, and you're just gonna love it. So not only is it beautiful, but Newmar mounts it the same way they do in the automotive industry. So it's bonded in there. There's not just a rubber gasket that's holding that in. Then if you look at the top here, we've got our marker lights at the top, and then we've got our first camera. We've got 360 view inside the coach. So this is one of the cameras that will contribute to that view. Then you'll see this beautiful windshield. Right here in the center here, you see this little rectangular box. So the King Aire comes standard with Mobilize. So that's your lane detection. It's also going to detect street signs and pedestrians. So just another little safety item that they've added that's standard on the King Aire. Then we've got the beautiful new front cap. I love how they've got the King Aire big and bold up here. They've got the Newmar badging, beautiful lights. I just think they've done a fabulous job with this coach, and I'm super impressed. Another thing that you may notice or not notice when you look at this big windshield is that you don't see any windshield wipers. Now, windshield wipers for an RV are really big and kind of stick out. So I love that Newmar tucks them in behind this front cap. Not only does it give it a cleaner, sleeker look, it also protects the windshield wipers. It's going to give you more longevity because that sun isn't beating down on them. And then it's also going to protect them from the wind. All right, notice the beautiful chrome exterior mirrors that you get with the King Aire. Now, there's a couple things about these. You've got the blind spot monitoring. So when you've got a car in the lane next to you, you're going to have a little yellow triangle light that will come on in the mirror. You also have your camera in the mirror. So when you turn on your left or right turn signal, that camera is going to shoot all the way down the side of the coach, so you have a clear view of what's next to you, which is great. Then we have our marker light. Go down here, we've got another marker light. And then we have our first blind spot monitoring sensor right here. We've got several along the side of the coach, so I'll point those out as we go along. Now we're at the front door. So there's a couple unique things about the King Aire in the front door. First of all, you have several ways that you can get in your coach. So you've got your key fob, so you can access the coach that way. You can also use this keyless pad here, which is really nice. Also, we've got the doorbell on the keyless pad. I love the doorbell. And then you've also got the My Rosie app. I'll kind of talk about that throughout the coach as well. This is an app you can download to your phone, your tablet, so that you can actually unlock the door remotely if you're not even at the coach. So for a service technician, for grandkids, whatever. Just another nice feature that you get on the King Aire. Another nice feature on the King Aire is the steps. So this is a biggie. I like to show these off because look how far down to the ground they come out. So literally you're not heaving yourself up in the coach, just super easy to get into the coach. So another thing that's really cool about these steps is, say I pull up and I've got a curb right here and they start to come out, they're going to touch that curb just like they touched my ankle right there. There's a sensor on the side of this and underneath, so that if it touches anything else, it will stop and then not extend all the way down. But those are a big selling point. People love these steps just because it makes it so easy to get in and out of the coach. Now this is the 4531 floor plan. I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get inside. Another thing that you get on the King Aire is you have a security system. So right here at the door, we have a camera. So you can see who's at your front door, which is really cool. Love that feature. All right, so let's talk about the tires that we get on the King Aire. Tires are super important. We've got the Michelin 365 tires on the front and 315s on the back of the coach. Now, when I say 365s, a lot of people don't know what that means. It means that, let's kind of relate it to a pillow. Get a nice, bigger, softer pillow to ride on. So you're going to have a smoother, better ride because you have more tread on the road. So we've got the 365s, we've got the Dura Alcoa rims, so you don't need to polish them. Now, one of the things that's super important with your tires is that you get Retroband. Retroband is a spare within your tire. It's sold exclusively at National Indoor RV Centers. I've got a video out there on Retroband. Go out and check it out. It's something that you definitely want to get so that you're safe as you're driving down the road with your wonderful family. Another thing that Newmar does that adds an extra safety factor is that right behind the front tire here, we have a steel encasement which protects your fuel line, your fuel hose. So that's just another thing that they do, protects it in case you ever do have a front end blowout, that fuel hose is protected. So I mentioned this a little bit at the front of the coach, but I want you to notice as we go around the King Aire, all the windows are automotively bonded to the coach itself. So that's pretty cool. Then check out this window here. We actually have a window for the passenger. Now, I don't know that you're gonna ever have that open when you're going down the road, but it's kind of nice that you can open that to talk to someone out in the campground or in the parking lot without having to open your big entry door. And just above that, we've got our patio light, and inside we've got a switch for that so you can have like an amber light or a white light. I know my King Aire buyers, one of their favorite things about the King Aire is that it has a 200-gallon diesel fuel tank. So that's really nice. You're going to be able to go a lot of miles on this without having to refill. This is a dual fill, so you can fill it from the passenger side and the driver's side. Then we've got our first docking light. Docking lights are super important. That's what's going to help illuminate the campground, the parking lot when you're pulling into a campground at night. So those are really nice to have. And another marker light here. Then we have our first baggage compartment. Now remember, one of my favorite things about the King Aire, I'm going to say that a lot, lots of favorite things, but these push button doors, because they're just so quiet and nice. No handles, really sleek looking. And then inside, doesn't it look a little bit different this year? Something's new, right? So they've gone to a marine grade liner in here, which is nice because it's rot resistant, water resistant, and things don't slide as much on it. So that's really nice. And this is just a huge compartment that we have here. And they've given us a little squeegee. So that way when we pull up to the gas station to fill up the coach while it's filling up, we can go and wash off that big gorgeous windshield so we have a beautiful view as we're going down the road. So if you watch my videos, you know I can't show you this compartment without telling you how big it is. So it is about roughly 27 inches deep and 32 is the size of the opening. So again, nice big compartment there. Okay, so my favorite part isn't complete until I close the doors, because how many times do you have to slam your doors to get them to shut? So on the King Aire, you just softly swing it shut and it sucks it right in, closes it nice and tight. So love that feature. Then we have our next compartment. So this is our pass-through storage tray. We've got the power trays on this. We've got our little starter kit here, and you've got your NIRVC rug. And I'm going to extend this all the way so you can see how far that goes out. Really extend so you can really get everything on the front and the back of this tray, even though it extends the other on the driver's side as well. And then we also have our little flip down tray there, so that if I just want to, this is a heavy tool chest or something, I can just slide it right off. And you can also get a good view of that new marine grade liner that they've got installed this year. So put that down. Go ahead and shut that. Now, another new feature, this is because customers have been asking for this over and over again. A lot of times when customers go to Newmar, they actually have them install this extra shelf. So this gives you a nice shelf. I see a lot of my customers put their folding chairs here, and you know, you're going to hit the chassis rail at some point, so they've given you this nice extra shelf. So we've gone ahead and added that. So I think that's something that you'll enjoy. So I'm sure you're wondering what the size of these openings are with this new tray here. So just entry here, you have about 10 inches. There's a little bit of space above the actual door when you get inside here. And then from the top of this to say the bottom of your pass-through tray is about 18.5 inches. And then we have our second pass-through tray. Again, we've got that powered. It's going to extend all the way. We've got our little central vacuum kit down below there and our extra shelf. So one thing that's new for 2021 is you actually get like 2 more inches in your storage bays, and they did that because they styled the floor more like the New Era floor. So you don't have like a 3.5 inch floor like you typically do. You now have your like chassis rail, and then you have your R42 insulation wrap, and then you've got your subfloor. So it actually gives you more insulation before, but more space, if that makes sense. So you'll have more space in your bays. You also have more space inside the coach, especially in the slide rooms. I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get inside. All right, so just in time for those tailgate parties, I hope we're gonna have tailgate parties again. We've got our new model of freezer this year. So look how pretty that is. Isn't that nice? Dometic. And you've got 2 compartments there. So you can set the temperature to this. You can make it a refrigerator or a freezer if you want to take ice cream or frozen meats, whatever, across the country. Or if you just want to have it for drinks and snacks while you're camping or tailgating, this is the bomb. And then eventually I'm going to show you that awning, and we'll get this all set up for a great party. But while we're in this compartment, let's look back here. We've got our central vac, and then just behind that you can see where our it's our high definition camera system. So that's where all the 4 cameras come together to give us that 360 view inside the coach. We've got our power management system, and then we've got our slide room control. If you look back here, you can see that we've got our Oasis hydronic heating system. And then here to the side, we've got our controls for our Girard awnings, and then we've got our 2 110 outlets. So a lot of people wonder with these push button doors that I love so much, what happens if they fail or if you have an electrical issue and they won't open. So there is a bypass. So if you look down here, you'll see this little wire here, and then underneath the coach you've got a key, and you can unlock the door to access that baggage compartment. So here we have our Gladiator storage system. So this is great for oils, fuels, anything that you need to carry with you as you're going down the road. I love the trays that they give you. I love that you've got the LED lighting in here, so it's easy to find what you're looking for. So I feel like I'm on The Price is Right. What is behind door 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? This is probably the most important door on the King Aire, because this is all new for 2021. So we've gone from 16 AGM batteries to 2 lithium battery packs. So basically what that does is you've gone from 10.8 kilowatt power to 30 kilowatt power. So that is huge. You've got 2 inverters. You can actually run your front and mid AC off your inverters. So you've got lots more power. With the lithium pack, you get 13.4 volts all the time, consistently. With your AGM batteries, you would have 13.4 volts when they were fully charged, and then they would slowly go down to 12.4. That's when your auto gen start would kick in. Well, with the lithium power pack batteries, you've got 13.4 all the time, so they're just great. Now, lithium batteries don't like cold, so whenever you're running your heat in your coach, your compartment for your batteries is going to be heated as well, so you don't have to worry about that. This is a true 4 seasons coach, so you can use this year-round, no issues. So you can see your lithium battery pack here on the passenger side of the coach, and your 2 inverters, pure sine inverters, and then we're on the driver's side. I'll show you the other lithium battery pack. All right, so here midship on the coach, we've got our second camera, which contributes to our 360 camera view. And then we've got a window here. Notice we've got another window that opens in the half bath. So we're all gonna love that, right? Little fresh air, can't hurt anyone. And then we've got our security light. All right, so we've got our marker light, 2 more blind spot monitoring sensors here. We've got our drive axle, and then we've got our docking light here, and our tag axle. So this is a passive steer tag axle on the 2021 King Aire. Sits on the K3 chassis. You have a 17-degree turning cut with that tag axle, so it's even better, improved upon from last year. Another safety feature that Newmar puts on its coach, rear bath here, we've got our emergency egress door. So this, you can only be accessed, you can only come out of it from inside the coach. I like it for a couple reasons. Not only is it a huge safety feature if you need to get out of your coach quickly, from the rear of the coach, you just open this door, take off a panel that I'll show you inside. The ladder just telescopes down and you're out. Slick as that. Now, another thing that my customers will use this for is loading and unloading the coach. Just makes it a little bit easier. I can hand things to my husband up there or vice versa, and we don't have to walk the length of the coach, so it just makes it a little bit easier. Something else, also, if you need to service the commode that's inside here, you can do that easily with that door open as well. And below here, we've got our DEF tank. So we've got a 15-gallon DEF, that's our diesel exhaust fluid. That is 2/3 deionized water and 1/3 urea. Don't make it yourself, you can buy it at Walmart. Just remember that it does have a shelf life, typically a year, but it doesn't like heat or sunlight, so keep it out of those things. If you know you're going to be at a campground for an extended time, 3-4 months, you don't want to fill that up when you get to, wait until you go to leave, because thick DEF can throw you some bad engine codes, so you just kind of want to protect against that. We also have our emergency suspension fill that Spartan gives us here in case we need to fill any of those airbags manually. We can do that right here. All right, so then if you look back here, you've got this little gray cable here. If you pull this, you want to do that before each trip, so you should add that to your pre-trip checklist, and that's just going to bleed any moisture off of your brakes and your suspension tanks. All right, so we've got our last marker light and our last blind spot monitor sensor for the passenger side of the coach. We've got our 2 chassis batteries. Then we've got our power management system. So this is where all of our fuses are. If I were to take this cap off, it's kind of tight, but you've got all your fuses for the rear of the coach. So if a tail light were to go out, you would change the fuse in here. Then we've got our battery disconnect. So if we're not lucky enough to have you as storage customers at National Indoor RV Centers, when you go to store your coach, you want to make sure you turn those off so you don't have any parasitic draw on your batteries. Now, not only is this a battery disconnect, it's also a breaker for the coach as well. So say your levelers won't go down for some reason, or you have something that's really not working inside the coach that you think should be working, come out here and see if one of these breakers has tripped, and then you'll just push it back and reset it. Go ahead and you'll have power again in your coach. All right, so this is our auxiliary compressor button. We haven't seen this button before. So the engine compartment door only opens when your coach is aired up. So say you've dumped your air and then you need to get back into the engine compartment, you're not going to be able to open up that door. So you go back here, press the auxiliary compressor button. It's going to start a small compressor at the front of the coach and air it up enough that you can open up your engine compartment door. Then we've got our air dryer. So this is going to keep moisture out of your brakes and your air suspension tanks. And then we've got our fuel filter. And then this is our button here to access the rear cap and open up that engine compartment. All right, so this is a perfect example. I came over here to open my engine compartment door. I have no air pressure in there. Nothing's happening when I lift the lever. So I'm going to go ahead and start my auxiliary compressor. And you can see the air pressure is rising there. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and try it again. And there we go. Pretty slick. All right, so let's check out what we've got here in the engine compartment. First of all, we've got the coolant. You want to make sure that that is always full. That's part of your pre-trip checklist as well. And if you want a copy of my checklist, just email me at Angie@NIRVC.com. You can fill your coolant right here. Then we've got our quick connect line here. So if you need to air up a tire, you can actually do it from your coach. You connect a hose here. Your engine is a big compressor, so you may have to go inside, pump your brakes, but I walk you through how to do this if you need to do it on my RVing 101 video, so go and check those out. Then we've got our engine oil fill, and then our engine oil dipstick here, and it's not like your typical dipstick in your car. Much longer. Your hydraulic oil, and your secondary fuel filter. Then we've got our engine block heater. So you're going to go ahead and you can just plug that in from here. If you've got it plugged in, you can go ahead and turn it on from your Silverleaf panel inside your coach or from your MyRosie app. So that's kind of nice to have there. If you need that though, you're too far north. You need to head south. Like this hot day in Texas today, we definitely don't need it. We have the coolant for our Oasis hydronic heating system. We have our trans fluid fill and dipstick here. Then we've got our engine filter minder here. So we want to check that regularly. If that goes up, it's time to change your filter. You want to do that at least once a year. Here we have our engine air cleaner. So the air is going to actually come in through this vented area here at the top of the coach and come down through this tube, go through the air cleaner into our engine. All right, so now that we're at the rear cap, engine door closed, I want to make sure you notice how beautiful this rear cap is. Again, all redesigned. I think it's just gorgeous what they've done here. This is probably my favorite part here, the King Aire, where it says it like loud and proud. Hey, if I'm driving a King Aire, I want everyone to know it. But I love it because they backlit it with some red lights here and it looks beautiful at night. So the King Aire sits on the Spartan K3 chassis. It's got 605 horsepower and it's got 1950 pound-foot of torque. So the 605 horsepower is what gets you up to speed going up the mountain. The torque is what keeps you there. So you can tow 20,000 pounds with the Spartan K3 chassis. So what does that mean to you? That means that you can tow your stacker trailer with your Chevy Suburban or your Jeep and your toys or your remodeled car. That's what my husband hopes to carry with his stacker trailer someday. But basically, and you're not going to feel it at all. Now, some of the nice things that Spartan's added to the chassis for towing in particular is you've got your Voyager bulkhead connector for your second camera for your stacker trailer if you've got a camera with that, your hitch here, and then we've got our connection for our lights for our tow vehicle, and then we've got our safe haul, which comes standard on the Spartan chassis, so you can hook your brake line into that from your tow vehicle and you're ready to go. It's just great. Make sure you notice the rear view camera. Again, that contributes to your 360 view plus your rear view, hitch view, and then you've got your Newmar mud flap, which is just gorgeous. All right, now for the driver's side of the coach. First of all, we've got our first blind spot monitor for the driver's side and marker light. Then we've got our side radiator. So the side radiator is great for a lot of things. First of all, it's bringing in ambient air into the radiator, and so it's cooler air, not that dirty air that's coming up from underneath the coach with all the debris in it, so the fan won't have to work as hard. And then also it's just easier to service. As you can see in the back of the engine compartment, we can easily get to all of our filters and oil fills, and we can do that easily from the back. So it helps for servicing. And then for radiator maintenance, one of the things that you want to do fairly often is just get your garden hose out, just softly put your thumb over it and just rinse off the coils of that radiator to keep it nice and clean so that it will work more efficiently. So here is our DEF fill for the driver's side of the coach. This is nice because they've given us this little chrome plate here so that we don't get DEF on our beautiful paint job. I also like that they've given us a tether so we don't forget that cap. And it's just nice to have the dual fill for the DEF so that you don't get truckers mad at truck stops. You're not going to have a problem with that. Then we've got our compartment here. I like to call this the stinky slinky compartment. So if you want to carry an extra stinky slinky hose, this is where I would keep it. Keeps your wet bay nice and clean. Then we've got our all-important docking lights. As we look up here, again, notice the bonded, automotive bonded windows here, and we have another window that opens in our master bedroom. So you got to love that. We've got our marker lights, again, blind spot monitoring sensors, and we've got our exhaust here for our Oasis hydronic heating system. And then we've got our access door for our second lithium battery pack here. And you'll also see we've got a lot of the fuses here to the side of the coach, and we've got the breaker layout here and the fuse layout. So that's really nice that they've given us all of these things. A lot of these things used to be behind the Oasis system. Now you can reach them and you've got diagrams where everything is. So I love that. And we've got another spot where we can start and stop the generator. On to our wet bay. So I just love this because it's I love the stainless steel panel that they give us. We've got our exterior shower. So you can actually take like a real shower out here if you've got some, privacy, or you can shower your kiddos or your pets. It's really nice, and you've got a hot and cold Delta faucet there. Then we've got our water filter for the coach. And behind the door here, we've got the gray tank rinse and our black tank rinse. Now remember folks, when I say rinse, you're not like getting a hose that's like spraying and rinsing everything off really nicely. It's just adding extra water to those tanks and kind of pushing the debris and everything through. So you also have your hot and cold point drains. You're going to need to know where these are if you are winterizing your coach, something that you don't have to worry about if we have you as storage customers at National Indoor RV Centers. But if you do need to winterize, you've got the instructions right here and you can easily do that. Also, you can bring your coach to us at National Indoor RV Centers and we can do it for you there as well. So then we've got our tanks. So it's going to give us a digital readout of what we have in our tanks, which is really nice to have here in the wet bay. So you've got your fresh tank, your black, and your gray. Your fresh will hold 105 gallons, gray 80, and your black 60. You can turn on your pump and fill right here. Then you've got your black tank valve and your gray tank valve and your RV SantaCon. So that's basically your garbage disposal for your black tank. And you are just gonna take this and you're gonna thread it through right here. Everything's gonna stay nice and sealed. That's where you'll thread it through and then hook it into the sewer system at the park or campground that you're at. Now you can also do a manual dump if you need to here, and you would just connect that right there and then thread it through the same hole there. Then we have our freshwater fill, and it will tell you where you need to direct that water. Auto tank fill and auto city supply, or you've got your manual tank fill here. And then you've got just a water tap here that you can connect a hose to for whatever you may need that for. Then we have our hose for our fresh water. One of the things I love is that's on an auto reel. keeps things nice and tidy in here. Another thing I want you to notice is the liner that Newmar gives us for the wet bay. It's actually like a little tub. So you are going to get water and debris in here occasionally, and I think it's great because it's not going, they've given you a protection in your storage compartment. Then we've got, oh, didn't want to miss this. This is just a hot water tap, so you can hook up a hose, wash off your coach. Actually, you've got the power washer, so this is just nice to have another option though here at the wet bay. And then we've got our mana block system. So I love this because you can turn off the water to the shower because you're working on the shower, but you could still be doing, you know, washing your clothes, washing your dishes. So it's really nice. You can just shut off water to what you're working on. Everything else can stay on. So I love that. It's pretty basic, but something I always like to point out that with your hoses, your 50 amp shore power cord, and with your freshwater hose, you've got this rubber seal here that you're going to stick that in, and then that's going to seal off your compartment. So critters and, you know, things that you don't want in your storage compartment, mice, squirrels, whatever, are not going to get in, and I like that. So as I shut this compartment door, I want you to see what happens. You've got a slipper hinge here. That is for when your slides are out, which most of the time they're going to be out, especially when you're camping. Gives you a little bit more clearance. So as you see, as I go to shut this door, it's going to raise and then shut. All right, so I said that your lithium compartment was the most important compartment, but you know, 50 amp shore power cord, that's pretty important too. I'll put it right up there with the batteries. So this is your 50 amp shore power cord. Love this because it's on a power reel. So you can just, it's here on the door, push that, and it'll go right back in. Big deal, especially when you've got that all the way extended on a cold morning, you're gonna get dirty. One of the things that I like to do is have a cloth, a washcloth in my hands or paper towels in my hands as the cord goes in on the power reel. I just kind of wash it off and keep everything nice and clean inside my coach. You can also see tips and tricks that I have for doing that on my RVing 101 video series, where I start a trip, end a trip, get to a campground, set up, take down, all that good stuff. If you want to see how I do that, please check those out on YouTube as well. Then we've got our solar panel controller here, because this coach is optioned in with the solar panels. And then we have our automatic transfer switch for our SureGuard, another protection there for your coach. Then we've got the coax cable here, so you can plug into the camp's cable. And then we've optioned this coach with the 30 amp power here. So you say you've got a stacker trailer that has a shop in it, you can go ahead and plug that right into the coach here. Here we have our security light and another camera, again, contributes to that 360 camera. All right, so we get to our pass-through compartment on the driver's side. So I'm gonna go ahead and just extend that out so you can see how far it comes out on the driver's side as well as the passenger side. This is great, especially since we've got the slides in right now, but when the slides are out, this is gonna make it much easier to get to your items. So we have our second pass-through tray. Again, we've got our power button right here. We can extend that tray all the way out just like the last one. It's wonderful. And then we've got our power washer, which you only get on the King Aire with a 50-foot hose, so you can get all the way to the back of your coach, to the front of the coach. I always think it's super important to, when you get to a campground, wash off your windshield, wash off that front cap. I know it sounds funny because people have actually commented. There are bugs that I guess they're still alive because they will try to eat through that diamond shield. So if you can, wash that off. One of the things that our customers usually always want us to do when they bring a coach in, whether or not they want the whole coach washed, if there are storage customers, they usually always want the front windshield and front cap washed. And then we've got 2 UV water filters for your fresh water tank in the coach. So one of the things that I just love about the King Aire, it's like nothing else in the Newmar line, is this massive window. So check it out from the outside. It looks like it's one big window. It is actually 2 windows, but again, automotive bonded. When you're inside, it almost feels like you're outside. It's gorgeous. All right, we've got our marker light, our docking light. We have our fuel fill for the driver's side of the coach. I love that they give us this chrome plate so that if you have the burping of the fuel as you're filling up, it doesn't just run down the side of your paint. Something that we always want to wash off if that happens to happen. And again, we've got the tether so that you don't forget your cap. And speaking of things running down the side of the coach, one thing I want to mention on Newmar products. So they have internal gutters on the King Aire. So you have a gutter system that runs around the whole roof of the King Aire. The AC is actually attached right to the roof, where some manufacturers will put them on they have a plate that sits underneath them. If it gets full condensation or rain, it can overrun and sometimes will run into your coach. So Newmar has a system where they attach the AC units right to the roof. Then they have a gutter system that runs around the whole roof, and then they've got internal gutters that come down, and the water you're never going to have those unsightly streaks of water, hard water stains on the side of your coach, because that's all internal. If you ever see water coming over the side of your coach, then you probably got a little clog in your drain, and you just need to use an air check, blow that out, and then it's going to work perfectly. But it's just one of those detail items that Newmar does that just, again, makes this such a nice, beautiful, always looks beautiful coach. All right, almost done with the driver's side of the coach. Down here at the bottom, you're going to see the exhaust for our generator. So you always want to watch that, especially if you're bringing that generator, the front cap out. That's going to move if that generator's exhaust is hot. Just watch your legs. Then we've got our power control center for the front part of the coach. We've got our fuses here. Newmar always gives us our extra fuses, which I love. They're easy to find right there. And then we've got the hydraulic system slide to take your generator out. And so you just have to be in accessory mode and then hit the button to extend that. So I love how Newmar's full front cap comes out, so you can really get into your generator for servicing. This is wonderful, great feature. Then let me go over everything else that's in here. So right here, when we first get inside here, this is our wussy horn. You want to make sure you always have your air horns on. When you're driving something this big, this expensive, I want to make sure everyone knows I'm coming. If I need them to get out of the way, I want my air horns on. So I don't even know why there's the option, honestly. Then we've got another quick air connect here. And then we've got the fuel filter for our Oasis hydronic heating system. Then we've got our 12,500 watt Awning generator. So if you happen to trip a breaker on your generator, this is where you'd come to reset it. This is going to give you your hours. You can start and stop your generator from here. All right, and then just inside the cover here, you've got the fill for your generator oil and your dipstick right there. And here on the passenger side, we have our hydraulic system and reservoir for our leveling jacks, our slide, and our stairs. Another package that comes standard on the King Aire is the Girard awning package. So what comes with that, you get the Girard awnings with the Nova pitch, you get the Girard slide toppers, and you get the power window awnings. All three of those things you're gonna love. So first of all, you've got a remote control for your Girard awnings. So you can select to take out both awnings at the same time, or you can pick the front or just the rear. You also have a wind sensor. So I'm just gonna go to channel 0 and select out, and both my awnings will come out at the same time. So you can also turn on the awning lights from your controller. So you want to make sure you're on the same channel, 0, that way they'll all come on and off together. But if you just want to have one come on and off, you can pick which awning light and door awning you want to open. So it's just really handy. So now that we have the awnings extended, I just want to talk about the other two items I mentioned in that package. So you get the power window awnings, which we can control from the MyRosie app, from the controllers inside the coach. So I'll extend those in a minute, but you've got those on all of your big windows here. And then we've got these slide toppers, Girard slide toppers. What's unique about the way Newmar mounts them is they put the slide topper the actual mechanism to the side of the coach rather than the slide itself. That way, as the slide extends, the topper, the fabric is nice and taut, so you're not going to have a sagging slide topper awning there. And then it's got little bristles on it, so as it goes back in, you'll see that it kind of sweeps off the fabric as it goes in. But again, it's just going to give you a nice taut awning slide topper, and you can see that a lot of other manufacturers will attach that to the end of the slide. I love the way that Newmar does it. All right, so now I've got my shade. I'm ready to entertain and watch some TV. Love this. We have the Samsung 4K TV with the Bose soundbar. And we can swivel it out this year. We've been able to swivel, but we can also tilt it. So there's just a little lever up here. So now we can extend the TV and then we can tilt it. And that tilt's pretty major because a lot of times you'll just have a little bit of a glare that you can't get rid of. That tilt helps tremendously, and you're gonna have a completely enjoyable time watching TV out in the campground. And then we also have the two 110 outlets and two USB outlets here in the exterior TV compartment. So just about to my favorite part, I can't wait to take you inside and show you the gorgeous King Aire on the inside. But as we go inside, there's another new feature for 2021 that I want to point out. Again, we have our awesome steps. And then you'll note the beautiful just leather door here, nothing on it. And our screen door just slides right across. How cool is that? I love it. So nice. And there's just a little lever here. Push it down to open. So a couple benefits to this door. First of all, the passenger no longer has to look through a screen and the window to see out, which is great. And then the second thing, which I think is even more important, is that you don't have that double door that you're constantly messing with, trying to get it shut tight and then shut your entry door tight so you don't have rattling while you're going down the road. So I love this new screen door. All right, let's go inside and take a look. All right, a few things that I want to point out just when we walk in the coach. First of all, the new stairwell has the backsplash that you're going to see in your mid and rear bath, which I think is really pretty. And then here, right at the door when you walk in, we've got our fire extinguisher. That's great. So if we need it in the coach, we know where to get it. If we need it outside the coach, we can easily get that as well. Then there's a little button right on this panel here. Now this is your bypass switch. In case your steps for some reason don't come in, this is what you push to bring those in so that you can, travel and get on the road. Then we've got our stairwell light that I just lit, so now you can see how pretty it is. We've got our cargo bay lock and unlock, and we have our battery disconnect button. And then also notice we've got the nice grab bars when we walk in on both sides. This is new for 2021, leather with the nice stitching in it, just beautiful. And again, for 2021, we have leather. All leather. It's always been ultra leather in the past. Now it's real leather in the King Aire. All right, as I come up into the coach, I want to talk about, first of all, this beautiful wood. So we've got the Modesto Rift Oak wood finish in this King Aire. It's beautiful. They've really made the cabinets more European-like with this nice clear coat. They're just absolutely gorgeous. And again, with the King Aire, you have the unitized construction in your wood, so you're never going to see where two pieces of wood come together. So it just makes it look seamless, and it's beautiful. So now let's talk about what's in these behind these beautiful doors. So we've got a little storage area here, and then here we have our Wi-Fi Ranger. So that's one of the options. You can give yourself a Wi-Fi Ranger, which basically gives you a hotspot for your coach, just like you have in your home. And that will give you a coach ID, so you can link that to your MyRosie app, and then you're going to have remote access to your coach if you need it. There's also a little button back there that says video. I'm not sure why it says video, but if you turn that off, that will turn off all that equipment. So if you ever need to reset it, that's where you can reset it. Also, if you're putting your coach in storage and you don't need to have access to your coach or that internal camera, you can go ahead and just turn that all off. Then we've got another little compartment here, and we've got our Samsung TV here. And then we have our box, but just above this box, I wanted you to see, here is your internal camera for the coach. So that way you can link in through your My Rosie app, and you can actually, as long as you have connectivity to Wi-Fi, you're gonna be able to see inside your coach even when you're not in it. So if you leave a pet in here, you could, check on Rover if he's in this portion of the coach while you're away. All right, way back in the back, you'll see that we have a HWH master reset switch hold, and you need to hold that for 5 seconds to reset it. So that's great to know if you're having an issue with your front entry step, your HWH slide on your full wall slide, or your leveling jacks. You can try to reset that right there. Then we've got our important box here that I'm just going to start going over all the features here. So this is our solar panel controller here, and we have optioned in the solar panels on this coach. This is our over-the-air antenna. So you're just going to go ahead and turn that on and hit search, and it's going to search for available channels that you can pick up here, or stations that you can connect to. Then we've got our Girard awning control. So we have the remote control. We can control that from our app, and then we can do it here manually. And just like I showed you before, you can change through the channels, and that's going to believe that's your door awning, your second awning, your first awning, and if you go to 0, you can take all 3 of those out at one time, bring them all in at one time. Stop, you can lock them, and you can turn on your lights with them. So we option this coach in with 2 satellites, which is common for a King Aire. That's what we typically do. So it has the in-motion satellite that you can watch while you're going down the road, or your passengers can watch while you're going down the road. And then we have the HD satellite. This is your in-motion satellite switch, which will engage that. And then you have your switch for your security sensors. Then we've got our driver security lights. So that's the security light midship on the driver's side of the coach. This is your passenger security light, again, midship on the passenger side of the coach. Our driver privacy drape, which is to the left of the driver, and then the front privacy drape, the door privacy drape, and the passenger privacy drape. And then switching over here, we've got the driver side slide out. So that's our big HWH full wall slide out. We can take that out right here. Our passenger side slide out, our exterior LED lights, our exterior step, turn that on and off when we're at a campground. We don't want to have that step continually go in and out every time we open up the door. So we go ahead and turn that on so that it will stay out. And then we have our Wi-Fi router on and off. Then we have a little plug here. This is for diagnostics, where a technician can get into your Silverleaf system and interact with it. Here is our Silverleaf control panel. It's been redesigned for 2021, so it's much easier to see and to read, and just a new layout, so it looks a little bit more updated. You have 2 of these in the coach, one here at the dash and one in the master bedroom. So when I get back to the master bedroom, I'm going to go over this whole panel there. Finally, we're to my favorite part. So there's so much to talk about here this year. Newmar changed the interior of the King Aire, and they knocked it out of the ballpark. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So hopefully I won't forget a detail, but there's just so many to cover. First of all, just look at the lighting. They've totally changed the lighting. It's so sleek and linear. You don't see puck lights anymore anywhere. They just have these beautiful inset lights, backlighting, there's accent lighting. So they've kind of layered their lights, and I think it's just gorgeous. And then as I go through the lighting system, I'll let you know about the different modes that they have. But I just love lighting, really makes the house, and they've done a great job with it. Again, I talked about the cabinets, how beautiful they are, that European feel, and then they've gone with all leather. So custom designed furniture for the King Aire. You can only get this in the King Aire. Has the cool baseball stitch there, just beautifully done. New King Aire floor for 2021 as well. I love it. It's a little bit more sleek and modern looking, and I love that about it. And then we have quartz countertops. Just little details that I want to point out. I love the suede on the windows, and then we have this huge window. Everything's lined with chrome, so it just gives it that high-end feel and look. And then we've optioned this coach with the theater seats. Now, let me just tell you, I may never get up again. These are my absolute favorite seats, so let me get comfortable here. And then I'm just gonna spend the day right here. Can you see why? They are so comfortable. Not only that, they have a massage feature. So 3 stages, different massage feature there, heated and cooled. And then we've got the light here for our cup holder. And then we can extend the seat. But I'm telling you, they are just so comfy. We've got the 2 drink holders here. And then inside, we've got 2 110 outlets and 2 USB outlets and some storage space here, which is nice as well, because I'm gonna watch TV, so I keep my remote in here. I just like when I can, have little spots to hide those miscellaneous things that make things look cluttered, because I don't want anything to be cluttered in my King Aire. It's so beautiful. Then we've got our first light panel here, so let's go over that. All right, so here's one of our light panels for the coach. Now you're gonna see these throughout the coach. I can sit right here and I can see 1, 2, 3. They're kind of all over. Many of them do the same functions, or they may have just a few extra buttons on them depending on where you are on the coach. So I'm just gonna go to my home button. I can go to lighting. And this is where I can turn on my ceiling lights, dinette lights, accent lights, overhead lights, accent 2 lights, courtesy lights, the reading lights, which are right above me here, so I can turn those on and off. So you can see those lights have gone off, or I want to go ahead and keep all those on. But you can set, if you don't want a full brightness, you can go ahead and just set that halfway or all the way up, and it just makes it, or you can turn on all your accent lights right there at the bottom. So it's really handy. Then we're gonna go back to our home button. We can do our shades here, so we can do our dinette shades day and night, our forward shades day and night, our back shades day and night, and our kitchen and living room shades day and night. So if I go ahead and push these, all my kitchen and living room shades will go up, and my night shades will go up, because I've got everything down right now. We've got our fans. We've got 3. We've got 1 in the kitchen, 1 in the half bath, and 1 in the master bath. So I can turn those on and off here. I can also turn the rain sensor override on. If I want that to still be up, I can override the rain sensor. System, so I can start my water pump here, my generator. I can lift up the TV right here and down, and then I can go to theater mode. So theater mode is pretty cool. I love it. When I hit this button, it's going to turn off my kitchen and living room lights. It's going to turn on the accent lights. It's going to close, put the night shades down, and lift the TV up. So let me demonstrate. Okay, TV's coming up. All the blinds are down, turned off all of my overhead lights, and I just have my accent lights on. Now I like this theater mode just for sitting around at night. So that's an easy button to push, and then I just have kind of this nice atmosphere. And if I want to read, I can turn on my reading lights above, but it's kind of a cool one push and 4 things happens. I like that. Okay, so then we're going to go to our monitor panel. So this is going to tell me what kind of power I have coming to the coach, where my house batteries and chassis batteries are at, my tank levels, fresh, gray, and black. And now I'm going to go to my window awnings. So this is what I talked about on the outside of the coach. We have power window awnings, which is just so nice. So you can sit here. I can put my bedroom awning in and out, my dresser awning in and out, living room awning in and out, kitchen awning in and out, and then I can just do all awnings at once, all in, all out. Love that feature. We have display brightness, so I can just keep pushing that until it's to the level, or I can turn off the displays altogether. And then just touch it to bring the display back up and go to your home button. All right, just wanted to point out another lighting panel that's right here by the co-captain's chair. And then just as you go down here, we've got another cabinet, little space for a plant or your drink, which is nice, and some storage down below. Also, I almost missed it. We're gonna have our first thermistor. This is what communicates to the thermostat to keep the temperature nice and pleasant in here. All right, so here we have our, we're gonna have a fold and tumble mattress here, which I'll demonstrate in just a minute. And then we've got another light panel here. And we've got outlets. So you just push that for that outlet to pop up. You've got two 110s, two USBs, and then you push it to put it away. Then we've got our amazing 8K Samsung 55-inch TV with the 700 series soundbar by Bose. So you're gonna sit back, relax, hit your theater mode, enjoy your movie and this beautiful atmosphere. Then on the other side over here, we've got another 110 outlet and USB chargers. And just above that, you do have to push that button to push that back in. We've got our motion sensor enable. So when I hit this and I turn it on, it's gonna turn on my accent lights. Now, if I were to walk into this part of the coach, you know, at night or when I haven't been here, as soon as it senses that motion, those courtesy lights are gonna turn on. So it's kind of nice. So you can have those on or off, and you just merely hit that button to turn them on and off. All right, so now it's time to show you how this wonderful sofa makes into a bed for your guests. So I'm just gonna take off our little pillows here. Now, if it was me, I wouldn't even worry about making the bed because I'm gonna sleep in those recliners. And this is the tri-fold bed by Williamsburg. So this is the tri-fold bed by Williamsburg. We're just gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull these legs out. So as it extends, there's my base. And then I just pull this forward. And look at that. Doesn't get much easier than that. Add my pillows, throw the sheets on, they're good to go. Welcome to the beautiful kitchen of the King Aire. I love this kitchen. First of all, we've got the quartz countertop with that extra thick lip on the edge there, so it just makes it look that much more high-end and beautiful. And then check out this. You just push this down and up pops your 110 outlet on both sides. We've got one there and we've got one over here. Check out all that counter space that you get, and then we even get a little bit more. We have our extendable counter space here, and then we have full extension drawers. Again, I want to point out that Newmar does the dovetail drawers and the soft close on all their drawers, so you just kind of like the doors outside, you just kind of push them on their way and they'll close on their own. Now look at all the storage that we get here. I love that we've got the pull-out trays, full extension, so you can easily get to everything in your pantry. Adjustable shelves. Again, adjustable shelves with the pull-out tray. And then we have a little magic right here. So there's a little button underneath the cabinet. You're just gonna push that. Ah, and look at that. Here comes your Viking microwave convection oven. Now you can do that manually too, or there is the push button that's just right underneath the cabinet that will open and close it for you. So it's kind of fancy. Then I want to make sure you notice the beautiful backsplash. So they've got like the marble-like tile with the metal or chrome inlay. It just makes it so beautiful. We have the residential faucets here, and then we've got our, look at those nice sink covers. for our farm sink, it's just one bowl, farm sink, nice and big stainless steel sink. And then if I open up the cabinet below, I've got a spot for those sink covers. So I can put them right in there and they're gonna be fine. They're not gonna rattle around while I'm traveling, or I've got a spot for them while I'm in the campground. I also like that I have a space for garbage here, and then I have another pull-out tray so I can get to everything way in the back of my cabinet there. And oh, don't want to forget, we've got the Wolf induction cooktop above. So when I say induction cooktop, some people don't know what that is yet, even though it's become very popular, especially in RVs. Basically, you just have to have a pan that a magnet will attach to the bottom of. If it does, it will work on your induction cooktop. And there's cookware sets, you can get them at Sam's and Costco that will give you a whole little set of a frying pan, bigger pan that will work on these. Then we've got our nice big divided drawer here for silverware, utensils. Right now we've got them with remotes. There's lots of remotes in there. That's why you come and do your walkthrough with National Indoor RV Center's technicians, because they'll teach you what all those remotes are for, how they work. They're awesome. And then one more bit of magic, we've got our beautiful dishwasher below. This is the Miele dishwasher, and we just knock 3 times to open it. And then when you close it, it will lock automatically. So just close it, give it a second, and it locks. And then we've got 2 more drawers, again, that are both soft close. And just above that, we've got another control panel here for the kitchen area. One of the things they've added for 2021 is the chrome trim around all the windows, and it just makes it look so exquisite and high-end. I love it, and just finishes it off so nicely. So you'll see that around all the windows. Especially check out this kitchen window. So that's an optional item, but we've optioned in the kitchen window, and they finish it off with that chrome around the edges, and it's gorgeous. All right, now to our wonderful dining area. Now this is the Euro dinette, so it's the booth. I tend to love the booth just because you don't have to worry about chairs. Now there's a lot of people that like the combination desk dinette. That will give you more of a buffet here with a little bit more storage, table, and then 2 chairs, and then 2 additional folding chairs. With the booth, you have, it's very roomy, lots of space here. And then you get, this is going to extend, I'll show you, and you have 2 more folding chairs. But I like the booth for a couple reasons, because I can also sit and lounge like this, almost as comfortable as a recliner. Not quite, because those recliners are really comfortable. And then I also have 2 110 outlets here and 2 USB charging ports here, and I've got another lighting panel as well. Also want to point out that underneath the table you've got a little bit of storage down below, and it's a little shallow, but there's actually some area that you can get in there behind the wood panel. Not sure what you'll store down there, but you'll find something. And then we also have more storage underneath the booth on both sides. So nice big long drawers, quite a bit of storage there. Newmar's tables extend better than anyone else's. So what I love about this is that you're gonna pull it out. Look how far that extends. Then you've got your support leg here that just magnetizes up there. And then check out that. You've got your leg, your support, and I'm gonna go get my leaves. All right, so here's the dinette with the 2 extra leaves in, our extra folding chairs. You can see that you could easily get 6 people at this dinner table. Another thing I wanted to point out while I'm here is the way that Newmar has done the floor this year in the New Aire style. I mentioned it outside, but we're gonna get about 4 extra inches inside our slide room. So that's huge, because that just makes that space feel so much bigger here. Also for people like my husband who are over 6 feet tall, they're gonna be less likely to hit their head on that slide room. So I just think it's a great feature. And then we've got these beautiful windows. I mean, I just love this King Aire. I think it's so gorgeous. All right, moving right along, we have the Viking residential refrigerator for the King Aire in 2021. So you can see they've just upgraded everything this year. Nice, smooth drawers. Really like that. And freezer, and we've got the ice maker. Oh, I'm ready to take a few of those. So, really nice big freezer and refrigerator. And then one of the things you always want to make sure you do is that lock right there. So now I've locked the refrigerator and the freezer so those don't come open while we're in transit mode. Again, that's on my checklist, so just email me at Angie@NIRVC.com if you'd like your own copy. Now we have the pantry for the King Aire. One of the great things they've given us is locks. So we just push those buttons to release the pantry door, and then we pull it open, and check that out. Isn't that nice? You can get to everything. Hi! Back here, all through your coach there in the pantry. It's just really easy to get to all your foods and snacks. And we've got the LED lights throughout so you can see everything. And then once you shut it again before you go to travel, make sure you lock that into place right there. All right, so a couple of things we need to talk about before we head back into the midship of the coach. First of all, Newmar, one of the things I love about their design, you'll never see ceiling fans in a Newmar because their AC vents are right through the center of the coach, all the way through the bedroom and everything. So when your slide rooms are in, your AC is still fully exposed, which I love. Now also you have the Oasis with the 85,000 BTUs this year for the King Aire versus 50 in years past. So that's a huge difference as well when you go to heat your coach for your on-demand hot water, etc. Now I also want to show you how you would change the filters on your AC. So you've got this little tool right here. You're just going to push it up into there, turn that, pull it down, and you just kind of inch it over until you can work that out. You can take the filter off like that, wash it off, bring it back, stick it right back on, and then you're just going to fish that right back through and pop it right up there. Easy as that. Here's your motion sensor for the front part of the coach. So I showed you that motion sensor button over by the kitchen window. Basically, you may want to turn that off if you're going to leave your coach for the day and you're leaving one of your pets in the coach. You might want to turn that off so you can alarm, secure the coach without having that motion sensor go off. All right, so we're almost to the half bath. First of all, I want to point out our second thermistor for the coach. And then note the beautiful doors, the way they've done them for 2021, where they've got the pretty chrome inlay. It's just attention to detail. Every room that you go into, I just love. And then I love this half bathroom. I love the backsplash. I think it's so elegant and gorgeous. We've got the quartz countertop and the hammered metal sink, again with residential faucets. We've got our Dometic toilet. We also have the dustpan, so we can just lift that up, sweep all of our dust into there and debris, and it will just suck it away. And we've also got the attachment in the half bathroom for our central vac. Then we've got the beautiful shades. I love the suede on the window treatments. And again, we've got that metal, the chrome lining the windows in the bathroom as well. We've got our light panel, and we've got a motion sensor here for the half bath too that we can turn on and off. And then we've got all of our fuses and breakers in here. So if something's not working, this is the first place you want to check. Everything's nicely labeled, and I've got it all opened up here, and you can see that they've also given us those extra fuses, spare fuses in case we run out, we need something. It's right there for us. I love the lighting again in the bathroom, and we've got the linear lighting here in the mirror, and then behind that we've got a really nice sized vanity, our medicine cabinet here with two 110 outlets, and that's our GFSI switch here. So if something's not working here, we can come and check and reset that outlet right here. We've got storage, nice little drawer here, and cabinet, great place to keep some toilet paper, and one more cabinet here. Quite a bit of space, and you can hold a little toilet paper roll there as well. All right, welcome to the gorgeous master bedroom of the 2021 King Aire. Is it not phenomenal? The ceiling treatment, the lighting, again, want to make sure that you notice these lights here. These sconces were made especially for Newmar, or exclusively for Newmar, and I think they're gorgeous. Love the bedding. Notice the blinds in here. We've got the 2-inch leather blinds, and those are all power controlled. And we've got our light panels here. Just gorgeous. You'll notice that the quartz runs up the wall here down to the nightstand. And then we've got the wireless charging pad here. So you can just take your phone, just get it, right? And you can see that it's charging now. So that makes it super nice and easy. Now, if for some reason you don't have a model that's late enough that it will charge wirelessly, you can open up your little nightstand here. You've got 110 outlets and USB outlets, and you can actually thread them through here and have that door shut, and the wires can be coming out and lay on the nightstand there. So I think that's pretty handy. Nice little compartment there for storage. I also wanted to show you the great storage that you have underneath your bed. So lots of storage. We've got our 2 extra folding chairs and our leaves for our table under there, but that's a really nice big space. And then I also wanted to show you that you get the Sleep Number mattress. So that's very comfortable as well with the King Aire. I wanted to show you all the storage that you have in the master bedroom. So this is your typical setup. Again, this is the 4531 floor plan. And we've got our Sony Blu-ray DVD player in here, 2 shelves there, and some 110 outlets, our hookup for our dish, prep for dish, so we can input those things there. And then we've got our big Samsung TV with a Bose soundbar, and another big storage cabinet here. Beautiful quartz countertop, and then we've got 8 drawers. So 8 drawers and soft close as well. Then we've got our motion sensor here in the bedroom, and we've got 2 110 outlets. Then we've got our slide out control. So this is where we're going to, this is the full wall slide, but this is the control for the bed slide to bring that in and out here. And then we've got our Silverleaf system that I'm going to go over here, our lighting control panel, and again we can do our motion sensor. We can turn that on or off. All right, so let's go over the Silverleaf panel. Again, like I said, it's updated from the past years, and I'm just going to go through each screen and tell you briefly what it's about. Now, what you're really going to want to do is pay close attention when you come to National Indoor RV Centers for your delivery of your coach, because we have the best technicians. I can say that bar none. I think they're amazing, and they're going to go through this in more detail and really teach you how to use it. So this is a brief overview, but know that you'll get a thorough lesson on this when you come for your delivery. So I'm going to go to my home screen here. My home screen is going to show me my tank levels, so my fresh tank, black and gray. It's going to tell me my house batteries, their charge, and my chassis batteries, their charge. Generator, I'm on shore power, and it's going to tell me what I'm pulling on each leg 1 and leg 2. Okay, so let's go to AC power, which is our alternating current power. So again, it's going to show that we are plugged into shore power, and it shows what volts we're pulling. So 117 volts and 117 volts on leg 1 and leg 2. Then we've got our load shed, and our inverters are in standby mode right now. When we go to DC power, it's going to show us again our battery percentage. Everything's going to be in a percentage, which is nice. So they're charging right now. They're in a bulk charge mode, and our charger is on. Both chargers are on. Generator, this is where we can manually start and stop our generator. We can also go to our auto gen start settings here, and again everything's in percentage now, and we're going to go down. So this is where we can set quiet time to start. We want it to start at 6 a.m. Quiet time to end at 6 a.m. We're obviously going to adjust those. You're probably going to want your quiet time to be during the evening. And then we're going to see where our trigger voltage. So once we get below 12.3, we want to make sure that auto gen start comes on. How long do we want it to run? Right now we're going to let it run 60 minutes, and then our auto gen start maximum run time is set for 6 hours right now. And again, we can adjust those. You can make those whatever you want those to be. Also, you can decide when you want to exercise your generator, at what time and for how long, and schedule the days of the week that you want to do that. Then we've got our water tanks, our fresh black and gray, our water pump on. We can turn it on and off here, our autofill off, turn that on and off here, and we can top it off. Then we have our climate control. So this is great. We've got our living room, kitchen, bath, and bedroom. We can do each one individually, you know, cool, auto, or heat, or we can do them all together and make that setting. And then we can decide if we want to have a night setting, an away setting, and we can set those things and adjust them, you know, basically personalize this to what you like. Your engine block heater, when you've got that plugged in the back in your engine compartment, you can turn that on and off from here. So if it's a cold day, you want to warm that up, the engine block up before you get started, you want to go ahead and turn that on. Your batteries, it's going to give you more information here on your batteries. And then we can go to our cameras, which I love this. I love this feature. And you'll notice that our cameras are new cameras this year, upgraded, better visibility, and it's going to scroll through. So that's the inside of our coach. It's scrolling through the cameras, or you can go ahead and scroll through on your own to each of the cameras. So I really like that. Our lights and our shades, so you can go ahead and adjust those. So you can turn the living room on or off. You can put it to high or low. Those are your interior lights, your exterior lights, your shades. You can take them up or down from here. Awnings, you can take them in or out from here. And your TV lift. In your living room, you can put that up or down right here from this control. Door locks, so you can lock your entry door, lock your cargo doors, or unlock your cargo door right from here. Lock all, and alarm. So you can alarm your coach and lock all your doors from here. So once you're ready to go to bed at night, you're going to hit this, turn on your security system, and lock all your doors. Then you can adjust the brightness of your screen. And this is where you turn on your floor heat. So you can do your front, your rear, and your middle. The great thing about Newmar's floor heat is that it's electric. It's in little square pads, so it's very consistent and even throughout the coach. All right, it just keeps getting better. Here we are in the master bathroom. I think it's gorgeous. First of all, we have the marble floor. You have the same floor in all of your King Aire master bathrooms. So there's just 3 floor plans in the King Aire this year. So the 4531 that we're in, the 4533, and the 4553. And you can email us at Angie, or email me at Angie@nirvc.com if you want any of the floor plans. I'll be happy to send those out to you. Now in the 4531, you get this huge shower. Not only is it huge, but isn't it gorgeous? I absolutely love it. I love how it has that kind of, I call it the waterfall effect. You kind of have the heavy water at the top, and then as you go down, the mosaic gets a little bit lighter. So I just think it's so pretty. Beautiful floor, beautiful faucet. I also love that they're giving you the shampoo, conditioner, and shower gel little dispenser there, so you don't have to have anything rolling around on the floor while you're traveling down the road. So you want to make sure on your checklist that that shower lock is on there so that this doesn't come up when you're in travel mode. Also, I love that we've got towel bar, can't have enough places to hang your towels. And I just want to show you how big the shower is. So it's 50 by 34. Love the teak shower seat here, so you can sit down, shave your legs for the ladies. Then we've got the aquamizer here. So this is so you can turn this little knob. When this lights up, your water is warm. So what it does is it recycles that water until it's all warm. That will light up, and so you're not wasting your freshwater tank, and you're not filling up your gray tank unnecessarily. So it's a great feature. And we've got the grab bar here in the shower, beautiful residential faucets, and again, love those dispensers. And we have our washer and dryer here. Now this is going to be the Bosch washer and dryer. So residential, great. And then we've got our towel holder here. We move into our beautiful vanity area, again with the quartz countertop, the hammered sink, and I love how it's a big trough sink. Just one sink to clean, but you've got space for two of you. Then we've got our medicine cabinet here, and we've got our 110 outlet in the back there, and we've got adjustable shelves. So I love that. I love the beautiful backsplash and the lighting in the mirror. Just think it's so beautiful. And then we've got our light panel here for our lights. Just like everything I've showed you in the past, you can do that here, and you can turn on your motion sensor here in the back bathroom as well, or turn that off. Another handheld here, and then let's check out all the storage. So lots of space here right underneath the sink. Then we've got drawers, full extension, and soft close. We've got two 110 outlets on each side of the vanity here. So 3 full extension drawers on each side. Now let's check out this closet. Now this is beautiful glass inlay in the closet door from Italy. Got our nice big cabinets. And one of the things you may have noticed is we haven't really had an AV compartment. Normally that's at the front of the coach. In the 2021 King Aire, that's all moved to the back here. So we've got our Winegard satellite there. We've got our Sony Blu-ray DVD player here. We've got our input for our HDMI back here. Basically our AV room is right here in the back of the closet. Then we've got our safe. We've got adjustable shelves here. We've got the shoe storage here, and then our lit wardrobe bar. And we've got more, you can see the storage here, and we've got a double wardrobe bar here, and it's cedar lined. Wanted to make sure that you notice the cathedral ceiling in the rear bath of the 4531. This gives you some extra height and makes it feel all that much bigger back in your master bathroom. Then we've got our Dometic toilet here. We've got a little toilet paper holder and our last thermistor for the coach. And then we've got our emergency egress door. You'll notice that even on this door, we've got that chrome lining the windows, which I just love. It looks so pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate how this door works. You're just gonna unlock it, and then you open the door here, flip it open there. You're gonna remove this panel. It just magnets on there, so it's super easy to remove. Undo the Velcro. And there you go. Ladder telescopes out, and you can easily get in or out of the coach. And again, I talked about being able to service the toilet. It's very easy to do that. If you need to do that as well. So I wanted to show you the 4 interior options for the King Aire. So we have the Triton, we have the Mesa, which is what we're in today. We have the Voluto and the Andaz. So they're all beautiful packages. I also like to show you the wood options. So we have the Tuscan Maple, the Modesto Rift Oak, which is what we have in this King Aire. We have the Stratus Rift Oak and the Mink Rift Oak. I'm dying to see the Mink Rift Oak, by the way. I think that would be really pretty. And then we have the exterior packages. So this is the classic or traditional paint scheme here. You can see with more of the swirls, and again, you can customize those colors for a minor fee. And then you also have the contemporary exterior graphics, which what is on this coach in the Dorian. And again, you can go with one of their colors that Newmar does, or you can customize. But it's just nice to see what your options are. So I always like to show the coach with the slides in. Now you can easily get to your bedroom and sleep in your bed without extending the slides. You can also fully open your pantry, both of them. Get into your half bath. Access your freezer and your refrigerator. Now it gets a little tight right here. As I go by the booth, you might have a little bit more space with the table and chairs, but you can get through. Then you could easily be here at the sink, making dinner, making a snack, a lunch, sandwich. You can get into your drawers here and your cabinets and all the way through to the front. All right, so we're finally up here in the cockpit. First of all, I want to talk about these really comfy captain and co-captain's chairs. Again, they're leather, and you've got the nice stitching in them. Also, we've got our little crown for the King Aire or for Queen Elsa right here. And then they're very comfortable. They're more automotive, so they kind of like surround you, a little bit more bucket seats, and they're very comfy. So on the left side of the seat, you've got the lever that you just lift up, and that's going to allow you to rotate the chair once you're at the campground and you want to use these two chairs as recliners. You can do that super easy. And then you've got your power controls here to the right of you. So you've got the control for the backrest, so you can move that forward or backwards until it's comfortable. Then you've got your lumbar support, so you can adjust that until it's just perfect for yourself. And then this is the lever to raise the footrest once you've got this in a reclining position. So once it's turned around, that will work. Then you can move your seat forward or backwards, and then you can tilt it back, tilt it down in the front. I like that for those of us that are vertically challenged because it helps you get the pedal, makes it a little bit more comfortable, or you can move that up. So you can adjust that. Great thing about the King Aire is that it has the memory settings. So it's going to remember where you've got your seat. It's also going to tilt and telescope the steering column so that it's comfortable and adjusted just for you, and the pedal. So we do have a pedal button here on the steering column, but you can set all those things and then store it in your memory, and then you just hop in, push number 1, you're good to go. All right, so let's go over everything on the left-hand panel here to the driver. So we've got our HWH leveling system that I will go over first. Now you're gonna have to be in accessory mode, so you're just gonna push that one time. So you come over here, we can see right now that we're in travel mode. We want to go to auto level, so I'm just gonna push the button here. It will light up yellow. Now you're in accessory mode, and you can hear it starting to work. While it's leveling, I'm just going to tell you a few little tips. Now, if you go to a campground and it's at a slope to where it won't level, it will give you that warning, or it will let you know that it's, excessive slope and that it won't level. So you may adjust the coach and try it again. Say you get that same message again, excessive slope twice. You don't want to try it for a third time because you're moving those jacks up and down and they're warming up. So you want to give it a little bit of time to cool down. So if you've done it twice, take a 20-minute, 30-minute break, and then try to level again. So you can see that all 4 corners are red solid dots. So we're level. Now I can go ahead and turn off the coach, and we're good to go. So now that my jacks are down, I'm good to go for as long as I'm going to be in the campground. Now, if I'm just going to be overnight in a campground or at a Walmart, I may just want to use my air leveling, which is actually in the dash. So we have the valid air leveling system plus the hydraulic leveling system. So I use the hydraulic leveler in my jacks when I'm in a campground. I'm going to be there for a long time. All right, when it's time to leave the campground, I'm just going to go ahead and hit auto store and bring my jacks back up. Okay, so now we're back to travel mode. We're ready to go. Jacks are up. So let's talk about the Allison transmission. So here we have our reverse, neutral, and drive, and then we've got mode. So I go into economy mode. If it saves me any in my fuel, mileage, I want to save it. And then we've got plus or minus so that we can shift up or down if we need to, if we don't want to let the automatic transmission do it for some reason. Then another thing that we can do to kind of find out our transmission health is we're going to hit both the up and the down arrow at the same time, and it's going to go through the trans health. So it's going to let us know that the oil level, it's invalid, it's because we haven't been driving, but we can push through. Oil life 99%, filters are okay, trans health is okay, no codes. So it's nice to have that right here at the dash. And then we have our tag dump. We're going to just automatically always keep that in auto. Typically the only time you'd ever use that is if you were in a slippery situation. I had a customer recently that told me about a situation where they drove onto some limestone, and underneath that limestone was kind of a slippery clay, and so they needed a little help. So that's when they took it off auto for a second there. Then we've got our engine brake. So I'm going to always keep mine on, and I usually keep it at least at medium. I want to have that extra help. If I need to stop this coach, I want to be able to stop it as quickly as I can. So you'll get used to having that engine brake on. I just like to have it on all the time. Then we've got our cup holders here. We've got our keys, obviously. Then we have our wireless charging pad here. So we can just, again, take our phone, lay it right on there, and then soon it will light up and it's charging. Then below here, we've got our USB and auxiliary inputs. And then we have 2 more USB charging ports. And we've got a little storage compartment for maps. I still like to carry a map with me, even though we've got them on our phones and in our nav system, and it's LED lit, which was really nice. And then if you look all the way down here, my toes are going to point to it, there is a green little plug here, and that's the Deutsch plug, which your technician can plug into and communicate with the engine and get engine codes, information like that. All right, so here we have our parking brake. So we pull to apply and push to release. And then we've got our light switch here. So this is the auto position, off, parking lights, and then our daytime running lights. If we need fog lights, we're just going to pull that out, and we've got the fog lights. So I'm going to keep those on. And then we've got the heat control for our exterior mirrors, and then we can also control the exterior mirrors from here, left and right. We've got our bright and our dim switch. We've got our marker lights. So if we need to flash those to thank a trucker for letting us pass and pull in, we would flash those 3 times. If we need to flash our brights, we can do that to let them know it's safe for them to pull in front of us. We can do that right there. Our dome lights are just above me here in the cab. We've got one for the driver and the passenger. This is our intelligent high beam light. So you can turn this on and you're driving at night. It will automatically put the high beams on. If a car comes and it senses that car, it will turn them off, or you can just cancel that and not have it on. Then we've got our ATC override. Again, we're just going to always keep that on. The only time we may take that off is we're in a situation where we need to get more traction. You may turn that off. This is the button for your power tow window. You'll love this. I love that it's powered, just easy to use, and I'll demonstrate that while we're driving. We've got our air horn. Again, always keep that air horn on. I want someone to hear me if I need them to get out of my way. And then we've got our battery boost button for our house and our chassis batteries. All right, so this is a really important button. Basically, I don't know that you're ever going to need it with this lithium power pack that we have, but in case you come to your coach and the batteries are dead, you can't get it started, you want to go ahead and tie your chassis batteries together with your house batteries so that you can get enough amperage so that you can start your engine. So you're going to push this button, then you're going to start your generator, let your generator run for a little while, and then you're going to try to start your coach. And that should get you enough to start your coach. So don't forget about that button. It's super important. Then we have the heavy tow button here. This is exclusively on the King Aire, and this is going to add extra air pressure to your tag axle to provide optimal performance when carrying a heavy load. Here are your buttons that you can set the memory for each driver. So for your steering wheel, your seat, and your pedal. All right, so here at the steering column, I want to go over a few things. First of all, you've got a silver lever here to the side, and if you pull that, your hazards are going to come on. I can't tell you how many RV shows I've been to with coaches with their hazards on because no one knows how to turn them off, because you don't just push that lever back in. You actually just move the left or right turning switch and it turns it off. So then on that lever, you have your cruise control, so you can go ahead and turn your cruise control on. You can hit set. That will take you into a high idle mode if you want to air up your coach faster. Obviously, it will also set your speed when you're in cruise control going down the road. Then you've got your high beams on here and your right and left turn signal. Then when you come up to the steering column itself, you've got a volume control right here for your dash radio. And then you've got the control for the tilt of your steering column. When you get up here, you can answer or hang up a phone call once you Bluetooth your phone into the coach. And then you've got your windshield wiper controls. So you have you can just turn them on high and low, your windshield wiper fluid, or you can set your own interval. So you would just push this, count 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. Hit it again. Now it's going to go every 3 seconds. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. You can hear it going, and then you just turn that off when you're done with it. You've got your air horn, and then this is the whole system where you can work the information off your dash, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But first, I want to show you how you can telescope your steering column up and down, and then your pedals forward and back. And I tend to like mine all the way forward. All right, so let's go over all the information that we can access on the dash here from the steering column. So we're gonna go to the home button, and I can scroll through the information here on my dash. Information, TPMS, adaptive cruise control, air leveling. So I'm just gonna hit the OK and go into air leveling. I can auto level, I can go to travel mode, or I can see that I'm completely level. Say I'm wanting to dump the tanks and I'm wanting to bring my driver's side down and my passenger side up to get a better flow for the tanks. I can do that right here in manual mode. Go ahead and exit this. I can adjust the brightness of the screen here, so I hit OK, and I can take it up or down. I typically like to have it a little bit higher. And then I can go to messages. It's letting me know that there's an error. I'm not at ride height right now because I'm not ready to drive the coach, so that's fine. Settings, this is a very important button because this is where you're going to find your comfort drive. So comfort drive is a computer aided driving assist that Newmar has on its coaches. It's a game changer. For years, people have been buying Newmar because it has this comfort drive, and I've had customers that have come from coaches that don't have the comfort drive, that once they have it, they're like, oh my gosh, I could drive so much longer and without, back aching or shoulders aching, because they're just driving, holding onto the steering wheel, keeping the coach going straight, but they're not fighting the steering wheel at all. Basically what it does is, say you've got a strong wind pushing against this big sidewall of the coach. Well, the computer fills that wind, it adjusts for it automatically, so you're not fighting it here at the steering wheel. And say there's a camber to the road, a little angle to the road, it's going to fill that and adjust for you. So again, you're just merely, keeping your hand on the steering column, keeping you straight down the road. It's a joy to drive. So comfort drive, when you go into it here, I'm going to select OK. I can adjust it so I can go up, and I tend to like it higher, a little bit more help. Makes the steering column feel a little bit stiffer. I like that when I'm going down the highway. When I'm in a parking lot, I'll take it down. Now you can actually adjust this while you're going down the road, but you probably won't do that until you get a little bit more comfortable with it. But that's very important. Then you can go to your, let's see, we can go all the way up here. we can go to our tire pressure monitoring system, which comes standard on the coach. So it's going to give you the tire pressure and temperature of all of your tires. Also, you can add a tow vehicle. So you're going to say, is a tow vehicle connected? You're going to say yes, and then you're going to go to tow type. So you can go to a single axle, double axle, triple axle, or down to a car. And then you can add that. It will give you information for your tow vehicle as well. Then you can go to sound. So the audible alerts that you get within the coach, if you want them at 50% volume, if you're hard of hearing, you may want to turn that up. If they annoy you greatly, you may want to turn that down. So I'll keep it about 50-50 here. Then you've got your units, so you can choose, temperature. Is it going to be Fahrenheit or Celsius? Tire pressure, PSI or KPA. And then you just go back. Comfort Drive service. This is where you can enable service reminders. We don't have any right now, but you can add those. Diagnostics, configuration, and go back. Then you can go down one more. You got your trip information, so that's for trip A. Oops, and then hit enter or the OK for trip B. Information, this is going to give you the status of your door. Do you have a door open? It will give you a soft alarm. Your engine load. Now you can keep it so one of these will stay up on your dash at all times, or right now I've got it in scan mode. So it's going to go through all of these screens. Oops, information. So it's going to go through boost, engine oil temp, engine percent load, door status. It will just scroll through those because I've opted for the scan mode. Then we can go to TPMS. It's going to show you your tire pressure monitoring system right there on the screen and let you look at that. And then this is your adaptive cruise control, so you can adjust your distance. If you want it short, disabled, you can disable it completely. Long distance, medium, or short. I like short because I do want that alarm. I do feel like it's a safety feature. So I'm going to go ahead and press OK to accept. Now as we're driving, you'll see that we have the collision mitigation system will come up here. This right here is our mobile eye. It will detect if there's something in the lane, if we're crossing over the lane and we haven't turned on our signal, or if there's a pedestrian, or it will be alerted by street signs. We've got our fuel here, our temperature, our oil, air pressure, and our DEF. All right, so we've got our menu button here. This is going to give the driver climate status, what my settings are. And then we've got our radio, media center, XM radio, Bluetooth, Mobileye, HDMI, auxiliary, our camera control, iPod, navigation, and our settings button. So if I want to go to navigation quickly, I can just hit that button there. That will go to my navigation system. I can input my information, or my passenger can do it in the King Aire because I've got the passenger system as well. I can go to my cameras here, and I love my 360 view. That way you can see everything that's going all the way around your coach and your rear view camera at all times. But you can adjust to what you want to see. So now I'm getting 4 cameras there, 3, and back to my 360 camera. All right, so we have our front fan. This is for when we have our furnace on. Up front, we can put it on high or low. And then we've got our overhead fans, so we can turn those on and then select high, medium, or low. Our docking lights, our courtesy lights, our gen start, we can start and stop it here, and we can lock and unlock our entry door here. So then we've got our visor, which is our day shade to the left of the driver, and then our front visor, so day shade, and then we have our night shade for the front, and then we have the passenger visor here. Then we have our HVAC override. So right now when I have this on, I'm in control of the the AC system. When I turn it off, then the passenger can control their AC and I can control mine, which is the way I like it because I'm usually freezing, my husband's usually hot, so we have very different temperatures that we like to have the coach at. So Then we've got these great little storage drawers for miscellaneous items. And I didn't mean to skip by these, but I think we all know how they work. We turn on our fans here, our cool and our hot, and then we can adjust to where that airflow is coming from. Here in the passenger seat, just want to tell you it's as comfortable as the captain's chair. There's one thing I forgot to tell you in the captain's chair that is the same in the passenger's chair. So you have a control here, and that is for your cooled and heated seats. Boy, I need the cool seat today because it is hot today in Texas. This is also the massage feature too. So you can have massage, different intensities, the massage mode, and the power button. Now, one of the things I love about this for 2021 is they put the control on the seat next to the wall. It used to be on the seat here as you walked through the coach, and it seemed like every time I walked in the coach, I hit the button and the massage feature would turn on. So anyway, I like that you've got your hot and your cold on the remote, plus a massage feature right here on the remote and there's a little pocket for it right next to the wall here. All right, another new feature for 2021, you're gonna love this. So rather than having the little tray that flips up, you now have this little spot here. So you can put your device or whatever here and move it around, have your own little desktop. And then when you don't need it, you can just take it out, store it in the pocket behind your chair, and you don't have to worry about it. So some people love that little desk. Some people hated it. This way you can have it or you don't have to have it. Now, we also have in the King Aire the option for the passenger monitor here. So I'm just going to hit power, and now I can input the navigation information. I can go to my camera, and I can select any of the cameras to view. My 360 view. So that is really nice for the passenger and saves the driver a little work too, because passenger can now put in your destination and monitor all that right here. Then we have a cup holder here. We have our patio light, and we have an option for the white light or the amber light. We have our step cover. So I'm going to go ahead and put that out. So that's going to protect us so that we don't fall into that while traveling, or that our pets don't fall into that while traveling. We have our map light, which is just above me here. And then I have my visor, which is my visor right here, and my ceiling light. I can turn those on and off from here. I've got my wireless charging pad here, and then this is where I can control the AC. If I have that AC, HVAC override off, I can control my own temperature there. We have our 12-volt receptacle there, 2 110 outlets, and our USB charging ports. All right, so I'm just about ready to leave National Indoor RV Centers in Lewisville, Texas. Now, if you haven't been out here, you need to come see us. Even if you've been here before, you need to come see us, because we're building a new building. So we're gonna have more service centers. We're gonna have more room for storage. So all good. We're gonna have more room for more sales coaches. So you need to come visit. Now, as I'm getting ready to leave, the King Aire is the biggest coach I've ever driven. It's beautiful, it feels big, and I'm not scared at all because they're really not hard to drive. So if you're a first-time RVer, you don't need to be scared to drive a Class A diesel. A couple things you just need to remember. First of all, your turning point is basically behind you. It's where my seats hit. So it's at the center of your front axle. So if you think about that, you don't start your turn until that center of your front axle is at the turning point. That's when you turn. So your nose is going to go out there a little bit further. You're used to having your tires in front of you, like with your car. Different in a Class A diesel. You'll get used to that. You actually do fit in the lane. So just a few little things. You're going to use your signals, and that's going to help you see down the side of your coach. Your mirrors, like I said earlier, they are your saving grace. I can see if I'm taking a turn too tight, I can watch my rear tire on the side that I'm turning. If I'm going to hit that curb, I can stop, slow down, adjust, and miss the curb. The only way you get in trouble is if you're going too fast. So you're in an RV, you're here for the adventure. Take your time, enjoy it, and you'll be fine. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my blinker. I can see down the full right side of my coach, and you'll see I'm gonna pull out when my front axle is at that turn. I'm gonna make the turn, and you can watch my back tire right next to that curb. Totally missed it and went into the center lane. Didn't even have to go across all 3 lanes. So now, as I'm driving, one of the things I always say, and some people don't listen to me, so listen closely. I don't say drive in the left lane. I say hug the left side of the lane that you're in. Most bad things will happen on the right side of the coach. If I heard it once, I heard it 1,000 times. Hug the left, hug the left, hug the left. So don't stay in the left lane. You'll have everyone mad at you. Everyone will think that you're blocking them. First of all, it's just not good driving etiquette to stay in the left lane. So that is a passing lane. But hug the left side of the lane that you're driving in. Just went over some railroad tracks. You can see this coach took those nicely. It's nice and quiet. Look at this beautiful windshield I have to look at it. You're really gonna love it. In fact, when I go on test drives, I'm typically a little jealous of the person that's driving the coach because I'm like, oh, I wanna drive it. They're a lot of fun to drive. So the safety features that come standard with the King Aire are huge. First of all, you have your collision mitigation system and your adaptive cruise control. Those are going to keep you safe, keep you a safe following distance. Basically, you don't even have to think. Once you have your cruise control set, it's going to adjust to the car that's in front of you. The only problem that you might run into is if you get behind a slow car, all of a sudden you realize you're going 40. But you know what? You're in an RV, you're enjoying it. Who cares? So then you have your electronic stability control. So say you have to make a quick maneuver, it will actually actively take over certain brakes for you to keep you safe and keep you en route. Then you have your Mobileye, which is your lane departure system, your blind spot monitor. It's also going to watch out for pedestrians and read street signs. And it will give you audible and a visual alarm. Same with your blind spot monitor. When a car is coming up on the side of me, I can see I've got right now my collision mitigation is letting me know that I'm getting a little close to a truck in front of me. And that is another thing that I want to tell you about. First of all, you never, if you can help it, you don't want to really follow a semi truck. So I'm going to back off just a little bit. You want to do everything you can to protect your beautiful windshield. So when you get behind a semi truck, cement truck, any kind of construction truck that may be flipping up a rock or something at you, you're in danger of getting a rock chip or cracking your windshield, and you don't want to do that, I promise. So I usually stay back as far as I can or pass them quickly. So lane departure, auto traction control, so many things that will help you. You have your engine brake, and like I said, I always like to keep that on. Keeps me safe, helps me in braking, especially in an emergency. I'm going to be able to stop very quickly on a dime, so I like that feature. And another thing that I like is once my blinker is off here, now I can go to my cameras and I can watch that 360 camera. So I can see everything all around the coach. I really like that feature, especially if I'm needing to change lanes, anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my cruise control. All right, so now my foot's off the accelerator. I can just sit back and relax. That collision mitigation system is gonna kick on. If I get too close to the car in front of me, it's gonna automatically slow me down. I'm telling you, there's no better way to see this beautiful country of ours. There's no safer way. You get to sleep in your own bed at night. You don't have to check into a hotel. You don't have to go through the pain and hassle of flying, getting to the airport 2 hours early, being around all those people, and then getting a rental car. You're just in your home the whole time. You can cook your own dinner, sleep in your own bed. It's the best. Okay, right now you can see the little yellow triangle that's lit up. That's letting me know that I've got someone to the right of me. That will do that on both sides of the coach in my mirrors. And then that's just another alert, keeping me safe, keeping me on the road, enjoying this lifestyle. All right, so I'm going 65 miles an hour down the highway, and I just did my decibel reader. I'm at 67.7. So that's nice and quiet. Come and take a test drive for yourself and bring your decibel reader, and you can see that these things are so quiet and so easy to drive. They're just a joy. You're gonna love it. The more you do it, the easier it gets. The reason that I do this in a dress and heels is I want people to know if I can do it in a dress and heels, you can do it. Just come and give it a try. It's a lifestyle that you get to spend a lot of time with your loved ones. You get to see our country, and there's no one better than National Indoor RV Centers, because we will take the best care of you. I promise you that. Really, it starts from the top of our company down to our wash and detail folks, to everyone. We're just a team. We work together, and our whole goal is to make this lifestyle possible for you and enjoyable for you. All right, make sure you don't miss it. Oh, so exciting. Look at our new building. I actually might have an office. We need this space, and then all this in the back here, our new service space. Yay! I hope you've enjoyed this tour of Newmar's 2021 King Aire. I absolutely think it's gorgeous. I'm sure you're wondering how much this beautiful coach would cost. Well, MSRP is $1,330,170. Now, if you want to know what I can sell you this coach for, please give me a call at 469-277-1120. You can email me at Angie@NIRVC.com, or go ahead and check out our website, NIRVC.com, and you can see all the coaches that we have to offer. Now remember, with our volume and economies of scale, RVs simply cost less with National Indoor RV Centers. Not only do we do financing, we can make it so easy for you. We take in trades, we can sign coaches, we'll do whatever we can to help you get financed and get into the RV lifestyle as soon as possible, because you're going to love it and you'll probably wish you did it sooner. So a lot of people will ask me about financing. RVs are typically financed for 20 years, and most banks require at least 10% down. So you give me a call if you want to talk more about that and ask what your situation would be like. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe. Also check out my retro band video, Spare Within Your Tire. And then we've got our AIM rallies, our all-inclusive motorhome club. That's where we we have rallies across the country. We really want to get to know our customers. That's where we can hang out, have a great time. I attend all of our rallies, so I'd love to meet you. Also, make sure you check out my RVing 101 series, where I take a trip from start to finish, give you lots of tips and tricks, and even our customers share some of theirs. So thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it, and have a wonderful day.